Woo-hoo. We're waiting for the people to come in. Hey, hey, everybody. Come on. Oh, oh. Hey, hey. Hi, hi. Thank you for stopping by. Hey. Okay. What's up, Ashley? Hello, friends. Hello, everybody. Y'all, we have a very special guest today. I'm very excited. Very, very excited. So let's start with a little song, shall we? I know we can't stand together in person, but we can stand together in spirit. So here we go. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we see. Come on, no, I won't be afraid. No, I won't shed a tear just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Hey, won't you stand now? Oh, oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Ooh, near the sky that we look upon, should stumble and fall, or the mountain should crumble to the sea. Yeah. I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. That's right, Rich, sing along. So whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand now? Stand by me from 6 feet away, 'cause that's the only way it's safe. Alright, you guys, we have a very special guest today, and he has become such a dear friend of mine. I wanted to have him on the show because he's a person that always has a smile on his face. He's so extremely talented. He was probably your childhood growing up. I know he was mine. Sorry, I'm probably embarrassing the crap out of him right now, but he's just so great. He's amazing. I love him so much. And I'm in it's it's David Archuleta, everybody.
Hey,
Say
how you doing,
hello.
Abby? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. I forgot it was Monday, honestly.
Right?
Well, I
How was
just
your
never know
Easter?
what day it is anymore.
It is a crazy time.
I like the scruff you got going on. I don't know if I already told you that.
Thanks. I should do what your guy did.
No, don't do that. Have you watched Tiger King though?
No, I haven't. I just see
So
a
you
lot
have
about
to watch
it.
that show. But Joe Exotic has like the handlebar thing.
Right.
So that's why Tyler did that. It lasted for a couple days. It was.
A couple days.
I don't know what was worse, the fact that he did it or that I liked it. I was like,
Great.
oh my gosh, I'm Texan, aren't I?
Yeah.
I like that. How have you been, man? I know we've been chatting the last couple of days. You're so nice to just check in.
Yeah, of course.
On me, but I mean, how have you been doing? Are you handling everything okay? And
Yeah,
how's life?
Life has just been a little more on hold, just like everybody else, I guess. That's what's interesting. We're all in the same boat right now, just having to just hold. But I think it's been good because I felt a lot of peace, and I wasn't sure how I was going to handle. I thought, oh no, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
How am I going to be productive? How am I going to stay from being bored and like wasting a lot of time? But I've really enjoyed just, I feel like it's the piece that we need to, it's shown me how important it is to, it isn't about always being busy, even though like, and I was like so anxious before, like, oh, I've got to get, I mean, I was getting ready for a tour that got postponed.
I know. I was
but,
so excited for that. But are you have postponed it officially though?
Oh yeah, I was supposed to be on it right now.
But I mean, like but is it do you think it's gonna happen this week though?
Oh, it'd be.
I mean, not this week, this year. What? Oh my gosh, this
yeah,
year.
I'm planning on going on the road this year because I was looking forward to sharing some new stuff with everybody. I mean, I'm still gonna share the new stuff, but
yeah,
like perform it would be nice. I was wearing a hat.
We all want to see you live. I've been loving the new. Then you just put out a new song.
I did. It's called Okay, All Right. And
it's so good.
Thank you.
You getting all snuggly there?
Yeah, I was wearing this and I was like, wait a second. So I took it off before the live started, but
I like it.
Do you see what it says?
Chile.
Because that's where I lived for 2 years. So I was like, and it's cold. Baby, it's cold outside.
So for those of you, do you care if we talk about your mission, David? Because I think that's something I admire so much about you.
Thanks, Abby.
But for those of you who don't know, because I just know, like, David, I don't know that I could have, like, served a mission if I were in your shoes. And I've just always admired that you went and decided to serve the Lord for 2 whole years at, like, the height of everything, of all the craziness in your life. But for those of you who don't know, in our church, like, people can go serve a mission for 2 years, and it's intense. Like, you call home maybe once or twice, and like you write letters, and your whole life is serving God and preaching the word of the good Lord.
Like your song.
Was that a hard decision for you, or was that something that you always knew you were going to do anyway, so it wasn't really a debate in your mind?
You know, I really wanted to do it growing up, just like you said, like growing up in our church, that's something that just a lot of people went and did, going to serve the Lord. But then, like, everything changed when American Idol happened. So for those of you who don't know, I was on American Idol in 2008 when I was 16 and 17 years old. And I thought I was going to finish like high school. I didn't think I was going to get as far as I did. And it ended up staying all the way till the finale. And then the record contract happened, and then Crush came out, and then I started touring an album and everything. And that was nothing that I planned on happening. And so, like, things just kept going and going. But
did you want it though? Like, when you were little, like, did you always dream about being an artist, being a singer, and performing?
Yeah, I did imagine going and being on the stage and just singing. And just like, just because there was a way of like communicating and expressing that I didn't know how to do any other way other than just through letting out the notes and like looking up to the sky. And
you can tell, David, every time you perform, like, that is what it's like to watch you perform. It's so pure and it's just joyous. Like, I think that's the best way to describe it. You're not, I don't know, I know I do. Like, a lot of times I'm performing and I think of myself, and I try not to think about myself because you're there for other people and for God. But like, when you perform, you can tell it's for a higher power than yourself, and it's amazing and inspiring to watch. But okay, keep going on with your story. Sorry. Keep going.
My story. What was I saying about?
You were saying about how, like, the record deal happened. It was kind of fast paced, fast track. I know, like, your first single probably came out, and then like we were talking about like the road to deciding to go on a mission. Yeah.
So I'd wanted to go, but then I thought, I probably can't. It doesn't make sense. But it was kind of like that same thing that guided me to sing in the first place. I feel like it was totally God. I mean, it was God, because that's who I always checked in with. Whenever I like made decisions or like choices or how I sang, and as I learned how to connect with music, I felt like God was always there. And so I felt like it was the same guidance that had always been showing me where to go next, saying, okay, mission time. And a lot of people that I worked with were just like, are you nuts?
I can imagine.
Like, you're in the middle of like, you just had your single or Do Well Crush and album, and you have so many opportunities, and you're on the road with Demi Lovato and all this stuff. Like, what would make you want to? It's like they thought I was a lunatic. They thought I was this crazy religious brainwashed kid who didn't know better, that my happiness and success was going to come from staying with my career, which I wanted to keep my career. I just wanted to take some time to be with God too.
Yeah.
And the entertainment industry, I was just kind of like, I'd been working and doing music since I had been like 12 years old around the music industry. And it's just a place where they don't make it easy to focus on God. They don't make it easy to I don't know, they always wanted me to be edgier. They wanted me to do whatever it took to be hotter, and hipper and more. And so you can get caught up in like, am I cool? Oh, I'm cool.
For sure.
Oh yeah. And look how great I am, everybody. I'm so awesome. Love me, And so it was just nice to take a break. And I was just kind of like, I don't know if I'm even doing the right thing. Because even my parents, by that point, like I was doing my career and all that, and everyone was just, so I don't know if I look ridiculous with that, but.
No, I like it.
I like it too, but it's just Chile, y'all. We're talking about Chile.
I love it.
But my parents at that point were just kind of like, because I told them, like, they raised me in Church of Jesus Christ, the Latter-day Saints and all, but they were just, when I said, hey, I would like to take a break and go on a mission, and both of my parents were just kind of like, why would you want to do that? Yeah. And I was just like, well, I don't know. I thought they would understand, but they're just kind of like, and they had a good point. They're like, David, your mission, like you are in your mission of life, like to give music to the world. Like none of us thought this was going to happen. And here you are. Don't you think that was God? And I was like, you know what? I think that's a really good point. Like, so I was like, I don't want to be running away from what God gave to me. Yeah. But
and
then I realized, what was that?
I said you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't run away from that. You ran into it. Sorry, keep going.
I wanted to make sure, because to be honest, Abby, I was really intimidated by the music industry. I felt like I wasn't ready to go into it all, because it's like I thought I was still going to finish school. I thought I was going to, I don't know, go to college and I don't know, just do some other stuff before I really just dove into music.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that I was making a decision, not because I was scared of where I was and running away, but I also realized that God speaks to you, and you can't always rely on other people to tell you. You've got to trust where God's telling you to go. Because I love my parents. They guided me. They helped me get this far where I am so far, right? Yeah. But there's certain things that God's only going to tell you. He's not going to wait to tell your parents to tell you what he's got for you. You've got to trust in him. So it was a lot of praying. It was a lot of fasting. It was a lot of waiting, because I spent a year kind of just debating, still like trying to do music, but really, I guess, realizing I'm like, my heart needs to go where it feels it needs to go. And that's my mission to Chile. I didn't know it was Chile yet, but.
David, would you say, like, because I do think, I love how, would you say you're like a very intuitive artist as far as, what do I say, like, as far as listening to God? I feel like a lot of people have the gift of being able to listen to the Spirit or God and be able to work no matter what everyone else around them is saying. Like that gut instinct a lot of people talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But have you been able, because of that first experience where you felt strongly to go on your mission, do you think that helped you in like the music you make now and having that gut instinct of what song you want to put out next or what tour you want? Do you know what I mean? Because you
Yeah.
have so many people around you telling you and talking to you about what will be the next move or what song should come out next. But at the end of the day, you know,
Right.
it's gotta be right in your gut. But like, would you say you work that way now? Or have you always been that way?
I say I try really hard, but
Yeah.
it's not always easy because I think especially being an entertainer, like you care so much about what other, I mean, I do care a lot what other people think.
Oh, for
I
sure. Everybody does. Honestly, it drives me nuts when people say, "I don't care what other people think." I'm like, then you're a psychopath. Only serial killers don't care about what other people think. Okay, sorry, not to get to everybody cares a little bit,
at
just
least a little
enough.
bit.
You gotta
Yeah.
care a little bit. That's how you care about humans. Of course, we care about what each other think. You know?
Right. Right. Yeah. But I do feel like sometimes I get nervous because I'm like, oh, I'm being a pain. Like people have told me like, oh, he's hard to work with because he resists a lot and whatnot. Excuse me. Burp. But he, but at the same time, I feel like, you know what? I've got to remember I'm representing myself. Like you know, in the end, it's like I'm showing people this is who I am, this is what I'm about, this is what matters to me, and I can't let other people tell me how to do that.
Yeah.
They can give me their advice, they can push me to say, hey, take this opportunity, or we've got something for you. Hey, this is like, consider this. But in the end, I've got to make that choice and say, is that how I want to represent myself? Is that the kind of human I want to be? Because like 12 years ago, as a 17-year-old jumping into all of this, I realized that if I just did, okay, yeah, just whatever people told me, I started losing the sense of who I was.
So true.
And I was like, okay, I saw myself doing well in my career, but I didn't see myself doing well, like personally. And I think that's even more why I felt like, you know, I think I need to take this mission just so I can remind myself that there's something else. There's something else to all of this. So,
amen. How do you balance it now? Like, do you ever have days? Because I know I have days where I'm just so consumed in music and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world if I don't get this or whatever. And then it's the perspective, right? Like, I think that's what you were saying. There's so much more to life and everything other than music. Music's important, but it's not, like, I had to learn that's not who I am. It's a part of me. It's a gift God gave me. But, like, it's not who I am. You know, that was tough to learn. But, I mean, and today, like, for you putting out music today, like, how do you balance, do you ever have days like that where you get kind of consumed in the wrong things? Like, how do you kind of get back to center, if that makes sense?
man, you know,
we're getting deep, boy.
Yeah, man, deep. Abby. deep thoughts, silver lining thoughts with Abby.
Yes.
Yeah, this girl she kills it in all aspects of life. She's awesome.
Thanks, David.
I feel like I struggle with it every day, to be honest. Like, in the morning, I try to get up. Sometimes I'm like, I try to keep myself just on a routine.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, you know, oh, I'm not going to make my bed. Or I'm like, I know I want to take some time to reflect, meditate, but I'm not going to. I think it's not just
lazy.
Music.
It's easy to, yeah.
Like, in music and in just day-to-day, sometimes I'm just like, maybe I should. Like, you feel like you get little promptings from God to do little things, but you just choose not to anyway.
Yeah.
So whether it's in your work or just in your personal time, whether it's to take a time to say a prayer and you choose not to, I feel like a lot of times I just make a mistake and I don't do what I feel like I'm guided to do. But I feel like God knows. He knows us. He knows that we're prone to wander.
Yeah.
And he knows that we're we're not always going to choose what he gives to us, that we're going to choose other things. But I think that's what's so wonderful, is that to believe in God is, if you need to believe in God, you need to believe that he has compassion and that he's going to be forgiving. He's going to let us keep trying. He's going to let us keep falling as long as we keep getting back up, because otherwise, I mean, that's part of the process. And sometimes I get hard on myself when I'm like, oh, I should have done that. Why didn't I do that? Oh, like I can't forgive myself. Oh, I missed that opportunity.
But I actually make those noises though. Oh! I really do that. I know how you feel. I know what you mean.
Yeah, but then I think, I don't know, I wrote a song about it. It was called Invincible, and it was just kind of like, you know what? Take a step, but even when you fall, it ain't over yet. And just remember, you don't have to be invincible. That's what it's called. I love that. And like, take a breath, look at how you're thinking everything to death. And so sometimes I'm like, I want things to be done the right way. I want to be successful, and I want to be a good person, and I want to be close to God, and I want to be a good friend, and I want to find a future family and a future spouse. You know, I'm like, oh, you're messing everything. But I want to sell a lot of records or songs. I want people to hear my stuff. But I feel like each choice, I'm like, I get frustrated, Abby. I'm like, what could I be doing better? What should I have done differently?
I feel that.
But in the end, I'm like, I think that's, once again, this time is just to realize I don't have to do what I have the bar set up here. I'm like, David, you need to be perfect. And we're going to go on touring from others. And then like all of it gets stopped. Actually, David, no, we're going to put a hold on everything. It's almost like this COVID-19 pandemic. It's been really hard on a lot of people, on all of us, especially the people who are really struggling with their businesses, who relied on the physical presence of people, and families people are getting sick and stuff. But I think overall, it's almost like, it reminds me of what my mission was, where God's saying we all need to take a break and a moment to slow down and realize all of our expectations of being busy and working and like being on top and whatever productivity is. It's like, that's not what all of you have in your thoughts of what's going to bring you happiness and peace of mind and just a happy life isn't what you're thinking. Let's take a break.
Amen.
And I'm going to show you a different perspective. It's good. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be what you need. So I feel like it is a blessing. You got, afflictions a lot of times can be blessings if we choose to be patient. But
amen. I feel like that's at least in my life, like I always have this joke. I like to learn my lessons 3 times because I'll make the same dang mistake 3 times in a row, and then God takes a brick and smacks me with it, and he's like, do you understand now? Do you get it now? And I'll be like, oh, okay. But I do feel like I love what you said. Like, yes, we're sensitive to there's so many nurses and doctors fighting this pandemic, putting their families at risk, and I can't imagine being in their shoes. I'm so thankful for them, and I can't help but be thankful to have a wake-up call too, because I feel like I really needed it, just for the perspective thing. So I love that you said that.
Oh.
Well, I love everything you're saying, and I feel like you're one of those people who always looks. We were talking about the silver linings in life and everything. What would you say though concerning quarantine? What's been the best thing that's happened to you, or the best lesson you've learned through quarantine?
Ooh, through quarantine.
Yeah.
The biggest lesson, I think, for me is happiness doesn't take as much as I've thought lately.
I love that. Oh my gosh. I love that, David.
you know, taking this quiet time, just doing simple things. Like I've been exercising. I've still been trying to work on some music a little bit, but even that, it's like going on, like I'll go just out here by the trees, go on a walk around. I've got a little like nature path right here. I just go down.
Yeah.
Then I just think, like I don't take my phone, and I just let whatever go through my head go through. Sometimes I'm worried about stuff, but usually I end up just kind of looking up, and I just start being grateful. I'm just like, God, I'm just grateful for this moment. I didn't give myself this time for the last like year. Yeah. That I have no choice but to have, and just I have no choice but to receive right now. And I just start hearing these worship songs in my head, and I'm just like, you know what, things are going to be okay.
Amen.
And just like, you know, he's got a plan, and I don't know, I just feel happy in those little moments where I don't have anybody watching me. I'm not getting any likes or views for people in that moment. I'm just taking it in for myself. And I'm just grateful that God is mindful enough of me to say, I'm going to give you this moment so that you can enjoy it. Just you and me. And, you know, I love those moments. So
I love that, David. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How about you? I want to hear some of I mean, I guess you do this twice a week, right? But
I do, yeah. No, but I mean, I would say it's the same thing. I feel that my peaceful moments are strongly outweighing the moments of overwhelm, like just being totally overwhelmed, or like I can't say I don't have anxiety. Like I have no idea what that like true anxiety feels like for some people. I have moments of like, oh my gosh, like what if this, what if that, but nowhere near like what a lot of people struggle with, and I can't imagine what that feels like. But I feel like randomly just so peaceful, and I'm so thankful for that. And that being said, there are still days where I'll be so sad and I don't understand why, but I'm also a girl, so like that has a lot to do with it. We don't need a reason
even
to
guys
cry.
Even guys, as a guy, I get those days where I'm just like, why am I sad? I have no idea why I'm so down.
Okay, good. Good. Maybe it's an artist thing too. I don't know. I'll just wake up and I'll be so happy a moment, and then I'll get sad and I'll be like such an artist, be like, okay, what is going on in my soul? What do I need to release out into the world? What energy do I need to release? You know, I'll get like so hippie with it. I'm such a hippie, but that makes me feel good. I'm not the only one. But do you have a song for us today?
Yeah. I thought
Let's hear a song. I just really want to hear you sing.
Thanks.
And I know other people do too.
I might put my Chile hat back on.
Put the Chile hat on, boy. Let's go. And then I know, y'all, I gotta address everyone in the comments. I'm so sorry I've not been reading the comments.
Oh, shoot.
Because there's a lot. So we might do a little Q&A after, if that's okay. If the people
hi everybody.
Are so inclined.
Thanks for tuning in to. All right.
You sing, and I'll keep watch on the comments.
Okay.
For the good questions.
So I thought I'd just do my new song just because it talks about that time where we're all like, so my song, it's called Okay All Right, and it's about actually what you're talking about, like being anxious, because I actually get anxious a lot, where I'm just like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I supposed to? What? And I'll like wake up some days and I'll just be like numb. I'm just like,
I loved your song Numb too. I said Numb was such a good song too.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. But yeah, this song, what was I saying? Oh, Okay, all right. It talks about that, where just sometimes I'm like, get up and I'm like, I'm not in a good mood today. I don't know I'm going to get through this. I feel like I'm just miserable. But then I'm like, or if like feeling anxious, I'm like, I'm such a failure at life.
No!
I'm a disappointment. And then I just start like saying, you know what? I'm fine. It's okay. It's all right. It's gonna be okay. No worries. I'm fine. It's okay. It's all right. And so and then like by the end of the day, it's kind of like, you know what? It's kind of like I have to laugh at myself how I go through this like all the time where I'm like, no, today is really the day where I don't know how I'm going to get through it. It's going to be such a disaster. I'm going to ruin my life today. But then it's like a week later, I'm like, oh, I'm actually okay. Like I'm still here. And so I have to laugh at my anxious worrying.
Yep.
To say, hey, things are going to be okay, David. So here we go.
Yay.
Sometimes I wake up in the wrong side of my head. The little voices creep back in, but it's cool. Some nights the TV's on, just so I don't feel alone. Which office episode should I choose? When I lose my mind, I go places nobody can find. When I lose my way, I just look at myself in the mirror and say, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, 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 alright. Sometimes a traffic blur has got me using words my mama's never heard. My bad. Sometimes I wanna throw everything at home right out the window. Do things I know I can't take back. Oh, when I lose my mind, I go places nobody can find. When I lose my way, I just look at myself in the mirror and say, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, alright, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, alright, yeah, oh, 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 yeah, oh, oh, oh. Sometimes I blink and then I'm on your Instagram. I see you with your new man, but it's cool. It's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, alright, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, alright, yeah, whoa, whoa, yeah, whoa, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, alright.
Yeah! I feel like someone is gonna walk in on me somewhere when I'm alone talking to myself going, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright, it's fine, I'm fine, okay, I'm literally gonna say that to myself to like soothe myself, self-soothing, while I'm like hugging myself when I need it. It's fine, I'm fine, okay, alright. Are you down for a couple questions?
Sure, yeah.
The people are asking some good questions. All right,
let's get them.
Here we go.
We don't want to make them wait.
One. I actually want to hear answer this one because this is a great one. So Music by .Floor asked, any tips on not comparing yourself or your progress with others?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. What do you think about that? Oh.
You're the guest here, David.
I'm trying to
Don't
make
go
this go high.
flipping the roles on me, man. You have much more life experience than I do.
Nah, Abby, you're wise beyond your years, though. What was the question?
It was basically, how do you not compare your progress with others? Or like, how do you, just the comparison game. Man. How do you stay away from that?
You know what? It's hard with social media. Yeah. Because it's so easy to go on there and be like, oh, like people are liking my post or like they like this. And then like I'll just go down on the feed. And then there's someone who has like 1 million or 100,000 more likes than I do. I'm like, oh, I'm like, is that where I should be? Like, is that where I need to be successful? And like, just once again, comparison. Oh, my favorite artist. Have you heard of? There's this gospel artist named Jonathan McReynolds.
No, I need to listen to him.
He's so good. He's got a song called "Comparison Kills."
Ooh.
Oh, it is so good. So what I need to do in those moments, because sometimes I'll even like compare myself to myself. So it's like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, well, I'm not getting as much like interaction with people as I was 2 weeks ago. Like, what happened? Do people not like me anymore? Am I boring? Or like, have people moved on? So it's like, what I do is I take social media breaks. And that has really helped me with, like, we had a Good Friday fast, and like, one of the things I fasted from was from Instagram. And like, I just had someone I work with post a cover. I did a Jesse McCartney cover.
Yes!
So, but like, I was just like, hey, Carrie, can you post this for me? Because I'm on an Instagram fast. I just need a break. Yeah. And it's amazing how much that helps. And then just like going on little walks outside. Just practice social distancing, y'all. Make sure you're not around people. But just, like I said, I think disconnecting to reconnect really helps me. How about you?
I totally agree with that. I'll notice, like, if ever I'm in that mode of, like, during the day, I can kind of feel it. Like, I'll be in a writing session, and I'll see something on my Instagram. Like, it could be a friend that, like, something really great happened to them in music. And I'll get jealous. And I'll be like, what the heck? What did happen to me? Just stupid stuff. And then it, like, as I'm writing and trying to be creative and, like, harness the gift God gave me, here I am stuck in my own freaking jealousy. Like, you can't create like that, you know? So whenever I'm writing, like, I always put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I make sure, like, I'm not on socials if we're ever hitting a lull. But, I mean, and there's some people, like, sometimes you gotta mute some people, you know? If it's for your own sanity, that's okay. But I would say, like, my biggest thing is definitely prayer. Like, if I notice a huge difference when I pray every morning compared to the days I don't. And, like, when I get those little ugly colors of jealousy creeping up on me, I literally just ask God to take it away. I'm like, Heavenly Father, please just take it away. Like, I want to be happy for this person. And sometimes I'll pray for that person to, like, get to a point where they could receive the whole world and I would be so happy for them. Or they would get a tour that I really wanted and I would be happy for them. But to pray until I get to that point of, like, true joy for someone else, you know, because they're not taking anything. I think that's the thing is when other people have success, they're not taking anything away from you. They're just getting something, and it doesn't mean you're not going to get something else, you know? So that is a real thing. That is for sure a real thing. All right, you down for a couple more?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see. Ooh, okay. _ Marianne Johnson asks, how do you stay so positive?
How do I stay positive?
Yeah. Or do you? I mean, we were talking about moments of, like, sadness, but I feel like you're still like, I'd say you're, like, a pretty positive person, though, even when you're sad.
Man, I don't know. I was like, tell that to my exes, but no,
Did you say tell that to my exes? I'm like, tell that to my poor boyfriend over there who like holds me when I'm crying for no reason at least 3 times a week.
No. Oh man, you got a good one there.
I do.
Rocking out the handlebars and holding you when you need it.
Good one. Good one.
And
yeah, like overall, how do you stay positive? Because I'd say like, overall, you're a positive person.
I think, like you said, I think prayer is a really big thing.
Yeah.
It's interesting how sometimes I'm not gonna lie, sometimes in the morning when I wake up, I'm like, I'm not in the mood to say a prayer. I'm just like, I don't feel good. Like, isn't prayer supposed to be like a good thing and a positive thing? Like, I'm not in the right mood to pray. So should I even do it? But I'll do it anyway. And I feel better because I don't know, it's like when you put yourself in that channel with God, it's like he gives you what you need a lot of times.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because it's like you think in your head, oh, well, I need to be I need to be here in order to speak to God, and I've got to be at this bar before I can even talk to him, or otherwise I'm not worthy. I don't deserve. But then, like, when you do it anyway, it's kind of like I have to humble myself sometimes and just be like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to do it, even though I feel embarrassed because I'm not in a good mood. And I'll even tell it, like you said, like giving it to God. I love how you said that. Ask him to take that jealousy away from you, or just hard feelings, frustration. And it's almost like I just tell him, I say, God, I'm not in a good mood right now, but I'm grateful that I've got another shot today to see how I can overcome this. How I can make it better, how I can turn it around. I don't know how, but I'm going to be patient and see what happens today and what you give me, what opportunity I have to make my day a little brighter. And if there's anybody else that I can brighten their day. Yeah. So I think prayer is a huge thing, doing that just in the morning. In the morning when I rise.
When I wake up, before I put on my makeup.
Oh,
say a little prayer for you. I love it, dude. Do you ever just like, I don't know, some days I've learned, trust me, your girl has gone through some therapy, let me tell you. And one of the things I've learned from it though is like I have the tendency, or at least I did, to just put a smile on when I was sad or when I was like deeply hurt and just laugh it off. Like I'm the first one to make the joke and be like, oh, that's fine, whatever. I don't have feelings. I'm like this all the time, you know? And I had to like learn this in a harsh way that like God gave us feelings for a reason. He created all of them. We're supposed to feel all of them. And that, like, when I'm sad, I don't need to push my sadness away too soon. Or when I'm mad, like, I need to be mad sometimes. Or I need to be freaking depressed sometimes. Like, because 99% of the time, I get either a really great song out of it, or when I'm angry, I just get crap done because I'm mad. And I'm like, I want this done the right way, or something. So I don't know. I feel like I was reading the question box and a lot of people are beating themselves up for not being happy all the time. And I don't think either of us are proponents for being happy all the time, because that's just weird.
No.
That's just wrong.
Yeah.
And not to mention exhausting. Oh my gosh.
Right. Because like you said, I think, you know, God gave us like we're humans. We're designed to go through all kinds of emotions. Amen. We've got hormones and just chemicals in our brains. And I don't know, weather changes and everything that affects how we take in and people are going to be different. Some people aren't as easily affected. Like I went to go riding with my friend in the UK. Yeah. And like when I'd get up, sometimes I'd have such a hard time getting up and out of bed. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get a song out of me today.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I'd be like, well, don't you ever feel like that? I was telling my friend B, I'm like, don't you ever feel like you're just not like, having a good week. Like you don't want to get out of bed and just don't. And she's like, no, David, I never feel like that. She's like, what? She's like, you must have depression or something.
No,
I probably do. I was like, I think we're just different. Like, that's awesome that she's able to keep a positive attitude all the time. But like, I think you can't compare yourself. Because if I was comparing myself to her, I'm like, oh, I've got to change who I am. And I was trying, I'm like, I'm going to get up the next day and be better. I was like, wow. I was just like, felt like I was dragging myself just up and out. And I was like, I don't know how they do this, how other people, but it's like, if you compare yourself, like you have to get to know yourself and just be like, okay, through trial and error, like I'm going to try and follow this routine. I'm going to go through like month after month, year after year. It's like a constant process that we're trying to get to know ourselves. And it's like, okay, I tried to do this stuff. It didn't work quite as well as it did for that person. Let me see what else I can do to keep moving forward. But I would just say the important thing is to not give up on yourself. Even though I have to admit there's some days where I have just like, I give up. Yeah. I'm not even going to try today. I'm not even going to.
I'm going to have ice cream.
I feel so lousy. What was that?
I said, I'm going to have ice cream for breakfast. Stay in my sweats all day.
Right. I'm just like, I feel so miserable and worthless. I don't care. I don't even care about putting effort in. But then it's like, you know what? By the end of the day, I can get down on my knees and say a prayer and say, God, you know, I'm sorry. I didn't try. I don't feel like I even really tried today. Please forgive me for having given up today. But I'm thankful I'll have another day tomorrow to try again. Yeah. And please just help me learn from this that I don't know if I really feel any better. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I think I just do need just chill. Like, I don't want to see anybody. Get away from me. I don't want any texts. I'm just going to literally like sit and eat a bowl of ice cream or something and just like splurge. And it helps get out whatever I had and just say, okay, I think I feel okay. It's like crying, where you just like cry and cry and cry.
Oh yeah, it's like it's a physical release.
Yeah. I
feel so much better after I cry. In fact, when I cry, I'm like, okay, I'm actually okay. This is good. I need to cry.
It's like the Inside Out movie where it's like Joy was trying to get rid of sadness all the time.
Yes.
But like, you have to realize that joy, a lot of times the greatest joy comes from our sadness. But anyway, I'm sorry.
No, don't say.
I don't know how to answer concisely, Abby.
Pete, I'm like, oh my gosh, don't get me. I'm the worst at speaking sometimes, so don't say sorry. That was perfect. I know people in the comments are loving all of this. So, David, thank you so much for coming on here today. You are such a joy and a light in the world. I'm so thankful to have you as a friend.
Oh, thanks, Abby. Remember a few years ago, I was thinking about how when you were willing to come with me to the children's hospital.
Yes!
And I thought you've gone there since to do your own shows, but y'all, she was kind enough because I didn't feel confident with my piano.
But you're a great piano player.
Oh my goodness. I put my best efforts in there. But like, y'all, Abby can play anything. Like, you just like say, hey, here's a song, and she'll just go boom, 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 boom. But she was kind enough. We went to the children's hospital here in Nashville, and it was fun. We should have sung together there. Because I don't think we've ever sang. Have we ever?
I'm trying to think if there's a song we could do. Like, if you do a verse of something, I do a verse of something.
Yeah.
Do you want to do? I know you do "Be Still My Soul" all the time at church, but is there any song you'd want to do right now? Don't worry about me.
Any song?
People are asking for "Crush." I don't know if you hate that song. Do you love that?
No,
song?
I don't.
I love that song.
I do love that song, but man, I'd be down to do a spiritual one because this has been like a pretty spiritual. I don't know. What should we sing? Make 'em wait. By the phone.
Yeah, that's spiritual. That is so spiritual. If you know that one, I'm gonna die. If you know that song, we're singing it.
Oh, I'd have to have the lyrics up.
Don't even. Oh.
Make 'em wait.
Oh, come on. Come on. Hold on. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. When he's. Oh, frick. Hold on. When he says that. Here we go. When he call, you really don't have to sing this. You don't know it, David.
It's okay.
You
I'll give it a go.
You don't have to answer right away. Make him wait. Ah, shiz. There we go. I usually have my piano, so this is bad. And when he says
I can't hear with this on.
Okay, you can't hear?
Oh, with this on, it was covering my ears.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. When he calls you, you don't have to answer right away. Make him wait. And when he small talks, before he asks you on a date, make him wait. Do you have the words?
Yeah, I've got them up.
Alright, sick. Here we go. When his Pontiac's in the driveway and his eyes are midnight blue, take a deep breath to the opposite of what you wanna do.
Make 'em wait by the phone at the door to meet your dad. Before that first kiss, he's gotta hold your hand.
Keep going. That's too high, so good.
Help me out.
Is it high? Sorry. You can't get it back when you give yourself away. Yeah, boy's gonna run, but a real man's gonna stay. A girl, make him wait.
It's so good. I'm gonna sing this to my daughters, Abby.
Yes, David. Yes. Have you seen Schitt's Creek?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, everyone else who has seen it, you know what I mean. When I'm like, yes, David. There's just this character in there. His name's David, and the sister's always like, yes, David. Oh my gosh, David. Yes, David. That was beautiful. Pal, you are the best. Thank you so much for coming on here. I hope you have the happiest Monday in all of the world.
Thanks, Abby.
And to everyone watching, thank you so much for tuning in. Let's give it up for Mr. Archuleta.
Thanks, y'all. Abby, you're awesome. This was fun. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everyone, for joining us.
Heck yeah. Bye, David.
Thanks. See ya.
Bye. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I should have had him sing Crush. I'm so sorry. Don't be mad at me. But thank you guys for tuning in. And yeah, I hope y'all have a great day. I hope you have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will be back on Monday at noon with another guest, maybe. And tonight I'm gonna be live on Whiskey Jam at 10:30 Central. So tune in for that. Thank you guys. Until next time.